Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, which is an ongoing anthology campaign where we play in Star Wars, galaxy far, far away, long time ago. And every month in Star Wars Saturdays, I choose a different RPG system and then I'll hack it or I'll reskin it a little bit so that it can be played in Star Wars setting. And we gather together, put it up on the RSVP system for the Gauntlet community. Those folks will sign up. So often we have lots of new players. Sometimes we have returning players, and they bring in old characters, and we remake them in the new system. It's really fun that way. And we get together, create those characters, and tell a story in the space of a month. This month we are playing Storm Furies. Now, Storm Furies is a hack of Agon. The Paragon system is what Agon uses. Agon is this game about Greek heroes in ancient Greek times. Greek mythology is a huge, huge part of it. And everything's been renamed and rescaled. And wow, I just disappeared for a second. Oh, I'll have to remember that. I can do crazy stuff and make my pride shirt, my Millennium Falcon pride shirt, disappear. So it's Storm Furies. It's been all reskinned for kind of a Battlestar Galactica, easy for me to say type setting. I've reskinned that reskin. And even further from last session, thank you, Greg, for replacing the Storm Furies, the Storm ships with actual starfighters from Star Wars. So now we're cooking with gas, friends, as we've continued to improve and evolve this thing, this Storm Furies game. Now, the backdrop of the Storm Furies game is that we are set at a Starfighter Academy. All the player characters have recently graduated from basic training, and now there are some of the select few who have been chosen to attend Starfighter Academy to become starfighters for the New Republic, because our time setting is some time after Emperor Palpatine is dead, because he was in a Death Star that blew up. So obviously he's super gone. He even fell down a hole, which is like a guarantee in Star Wars that you'll never come back. Ever. And so we ran a battle last session. I made some mistakes. We fixed those mistakes. We've updated the character keeper. We've made things better, so we're faster, stronger. It's like a $6 million character keeper that we have here. It's the best. And so let's go around the horn and have everybody introduce themselves. But as a reminder, we do have safety. So we have lines and veils, and then also ask first on a number of things that have already been indicated on our character keeper. We talked that through, and I'm checking it right now just to make sure that everything is clear. And yep, there we go. We also have the X card on top of that. So safety is an important part of any tabletop RPG, and it's especially important in games that I play and run. So let's start from the right-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the left, which means, Joe, you get to go first. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hey, I'm Jolene. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them. I've been playing with the Gauntlet for a while, playing Star Wars Saturdays for a while. Been playing this same character in every single game. Playing Janella Jantek, aka call sign Star Dancer. She's done a lot of stuff in her life thus far, and now going to pilot school. Just another step, apparently. She
Another
lost a
step.
bet or something, I think. It was like, I could do it, sure.
Idea of Janela Gentech losing a bet seems about right. Cool. Thank you so much, Joe. Steven, you're up.
Hi, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him. Today I'm playing Ilko Hound, and whose pronouns are also he, him. And he's an Abedno or Abednido race. And he's a little bit cranky, and I think we established in the last session has been knocked down from an upper rank to a lower rank. So
Did we establish what he was busted down for?
no.
Oh, cool. Good.
And
Definitely a
to be
thing
honest,
gotta
I don't know.
mark.
I don't know enough about the ranks. If I need to go to a lower rank, that would be awesome too. So just let me know.
Getting busted down to enlisted man would mean a pretty egregious offense, like striking a superior officer or something like that.
Mm.
Interesting. Cool. All right. I like it. Thank you so much, Stephen. And now, Greg, you're up.
Yeah, I'm Greg. I use he, him pronouns, and so does my character Vico, aka Rakghoul. Rakghouls are like Sith creations on Dathomir. Vico is a young and fresh-faced Mirielon. Mirielon are the green reskinned humanoids in Star Wars, and they have little tattoos on their faces for their accomplishments. But Vico doesn't have too many of those yet. He's working on it. He's going to get more, and this is his way at the Starfighter squadron that he's in. Let's see. Last session, I think Vico's coolest thing he did was that he deflected bombs back into the bombers as they were trying to do some ground attacks. And yeah, he's also bunkmates with Hound, and it's going great. It's going great.
Awesome.
Best buds.
Keep telling yourself that there, Rakghoul. Love it. Last but certainly not least is our highest rank of the squadron, Buttercup. Brandon, if you could introduce yourself, tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I've been with the Gauntlet since the middle of last year. It's been almost a year now. And my character is Layla Trevani, who is she. Human, and whose call sign is Buttercup, something that nobody has asked about yet, but I'm sure will happen. She is obviously coming from some place where she has significant experience, but not with X-Wings and the other starfighters of that the Academy is concentrating on. She has the rank of lieutenant, and sometimes she takes out a holocube which has a picture of a young pretty woman on it who has sad eyes, and consoles herself with a memory of some kind. Her previous experience is redacted in her publicly available profile, only for need to know. Evidently, she is a ferocious dogfighter and leads from the front. And she managed to, with the coordination of everyone here, to take the last battle away from the people who are attacking, and end up chasing them in pursuit, forcing them to break off their attack on the civilian vessels that this scenario put them
in. Fantastic. So, as we've discussed, you guys went through your first training mission, a hop, as it's called, here in the Starfighter Academy that's located on Crucible Station. And you were successful. You were able to rescue civilians and take out some pirates, which were actually the instructor pilots, and they were aligned against you. During the fight, Buttercup won the most glory, and the second most glory, just barely squeezing out, was Rakghoul. So he's currently in second. And then third, right behind with 12, is Hound, and bringing up the rear is Star Dancer. But it's just one hop of many. Also, during the fight, Buttercup took some damage to her X-Wing, and one member of your squadron, Neffel, Lucky Doorstar, took a couple of hits and was considered out. Now this is a simulated fight, so she didn't have to, like, her X-wing wasn't exploded. She was not physically harmed. She was just taken out. And Shark Kleb, who flew in one of the support ships, also took a hit, but they were able to continue in the fight. Now we've moved to a phase of the game that's new for us. It is R&R. So there's an R&R tab. Maybe I don't need a whole tab for such a small amount of information, but that's the way the character keeper is created, and I thought I'd stick with it because it is definitely a different phase of the game. Now, this is not like a Blaze in the Dark style game where you choose one of them. We will go through all of these steps. And unfortunately, like, the idea is that you do R&R immediately after a battle. We'll see if we're able to do that this time, but we're definitely going to do the full phase of R&R here. So the first thing that will happen is that we will go through commendations, then we'll cycle through expressions, then recovery. Recovery is just a quick thing. We've already discussed that I forced you to use more burn than you would have. Therefore, each pilot will be removing all burn for just this phase, and then it will be 3 burn going forward. And then we'll do social, which I'm really excited about. So we'll start with commendations. Each pilot may claim a commendation from Captain Eclipse. Now, in our NPCs and places, Captain Juno Eclipse is the effectively commandant for the academy. She helped to found this academy, which Crucible Station is over the planet of Chandrilla, which is kind of the de facto New Republic HQ. It's a huge, beautiful city in the core. And Captain Eclipse, based on your hot performance, will be awarding a commendation. So who would like to step up first? What a commendation is it gives you effectively an advantage die that at any time you can say, because of this thing that I was awarded, I may bring in this die, and you can bring it into any contest that you wish. I mean, Rakghoul getting a commendation for the whole bomb bouncing thing could be really dope.
I was thinking like creative thinking.
I'm going to put Rakghoul forward.
Nice. Cool. So Captain Eclipse, as you guys are all lined up, the whole squadron, she gives I didn't look it up, but there's got to be some kind of like wounded in battle type commendation. So she will award that to Lucky. And then, she will, for your creativity and your ingenuity in the battle, Flight Sergeant Vico Sesmu, I award you this commendation. And you may refer to that as ingenuity, creativity, whatever you wish. It will be a D8 commendation. Does anyone have a commendation they feel their pilot is worthy of, or another pilot might be worthy of, if you wish to make a suggestion?
I have a suggestion for Hound.
Go for it.
Hound really stuck to the mission of we have to get the freighters off safely. So I'm not sure what that would be. I mean, I'm also planning to use that for expressions later, but for defense of the transports or something.
Nice. What do you think about a commendation for a steadfast defender? Sweet. So
yeah, that sounds good.
Take a D8 for steadfast defender.
What's the difference between the different die levels?
The different die levels could roll higher. Remember, you're going to keep the 2 highest totals when you do things. So if you bring in that D8 advantage die, you can bring it without any other cost, and it just gives you the potentiality of something all the way up to an 8 to add to your total.
Could we say that as what's her name? As Captain Juno Eclipse was looking through and was going to, do whatever commendation, whatever, translation it is, was going to award a D8 and was like, Hound? D6.
Okay,
Yeah.
go for it. D6 sounds good to me. If
Yeah.
you want it lower, that is fine with me. Cool.
I think
so
I think it's that interaction between the captain, like, no.
Oh, right, because of him being busted down. Yeah, it's like, sorry, we're not gonna give you the good stuff yet. I like
I
it.
think Buttercup deserves a commendation for leading the team. Like they had you do this, you do this, you do this. They did not buck under pressure.
Cool. So something along the lines of squadron commander, a commendation for effective squadron command. All right, there you go. And now we come to Star Dancer.
Oh, I
With our
don't
Glory
deserve
of
no
8.
commendation.
Our Glory of 8, who is the GM Glory Trekker, suffered 2 out of 3 times. Just not.
I think
Not
only
that
1
lucky.
out of 3 times, because I spent a bond to avoid the third.
Oh, right. You didn't. Yeah, that's right. That's why you end up with a 1 glory. Yep.
Yeah.
Spin a bond to avoid suffering. Yep. There we go. I was like, how did you get 1 glory? Because I was looking at my tracker when I said that.
It's like you have to suffer marked toys, but only 1. Yeah.
Yep. All good.
No, I don't need it.
I have an idea.
I'm intrigued.
I want to say that, despite perhaps Star Dancer's less than stellar performance, they got great like promotional reel material.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's so good and insulting. Photogenic. PR.
It just depends on
If that works for you, Joe.
whether it
Oh no,
clicks.
that always works for me.
Okay.
Nice.
What were you saying, Brad?
It's like it depends what Captain Eclipse is looking for here.
You guys are like one of the early yes, thank you for that good idea. You guys are one of the early classes to graduate since the New Republic has come out. So any PR that she can get to secure future funding. Look at our fine stout pilots. Looks good in uniform. That's a commendation.
Oh, reminds me of League of Their Own. What a hitter!
You're getting the merit badge for posing.
She's got the helmet, looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff. Awesome. Good work, everybody. That is our R&R. Next is expressions. So each player will assign a mark to an expression for each pilot, meaning that for Hound, you would mark an expression for Buttercup, as well as Rakghoul and Star Dancer, and so on. And if you've got a comment or something, it's based on the behavior during the session. And remember that when all 3 boxes are marked for one particular player character's or pilot's expression, that expression becomes charged.
What size?
And you can mark for whatever you want. Yes. What size? I'm sorry.
What size is the promotional D?
Oh, I should have said. It will be a D8 unless you, like Hound, choose to take it as a D6.
No, I'm okay.
So let's start with the highest rank in awarding expressions, which is Layla Giovanni. So what expressions do you mark on your fellow pilots?
For Rakghoul, the ingenuity is what stands out, and I'm going to put that under passion, because I think is the closest to it.
Cool.
Doing what he clearly loves to do, which is the calculate.
All right.
For the Hound, I think duty covers it very well. He he took the mission's parameters in his teeth and went with that when he was given the option. And for Janella, I'm going to give her courage because she was a little fish out of water in this, and she managed to keep it together despite some nasty reverses.
Excellent. And then finally, for Layla, you get to mark one of your own expressions.
Passion. Close-in fighting is my jam.
All right.
And I got to do quite a lot of it.
Next, we will go.
Not to say nothing of knocking X-wings out of the sky, even if they were disguised as other things.
You like knocking X-wings out of the sky or TIE fighters?
Old habits.
Okay, just making sure. Cool. So then Star Dancer, being the lieutenant junior grade, what expressions do you mark on the other players? And then finally yourself. Joe?
Oh, me. I was like, I'm not the next in command, am I?
I did. Well, you're lieutenant junior grade.
Okay.
And then we have a lieutenant junior grade who's also kind of on the, like, between the two,
right.
you get chosen before the other.
Okay. So for Buttercup, I would say devotion, duty actually. It was duty to the mission. This is what needs to be done. Get on top of it. You do this. For Rakghoul, I would say devotion because they were pretty devoted to protecting those transports, getting out of there. For Hound, I would say, I'm trying to remember, steadfastness. I'm gonna say passion because I don't remember. I'm sorry, Hound.
It's okay. That's a problem with us finishing up last week.
Yeah.
We'll try. Hopefully, we'll get through it all.
And for me, I'd say duty as well, because I was like, all right, but we need to make sure those people are protected more so than we need to care about stopping these other folks from escaping.
Totally, I'm into it. And now, Hound.
So for Buttercup, I would say duty as our leader. For Rakghoul, I would say passion as the new one. For myself, I would say wrath. And for Janella Gentek, I would say probably passion.
Awesome.
And then as the sole enlisted member, let's see. I'm going to go with duty, which charges it for Buttercup, for leading us through the mission. Let's see. I mean, why not? I'm going to go with passion for myself, so I get a charge. I'm going to go with wrath because Hound was pretty dogged, which charges that for Hound. And I'll go with passion as well for Star Dancer.
Oh,
yes, right. And charging clears. That's right. I forgot that.
Yep, charging does clear it. Nice. Boy, look at you just circling around and just like ticking everything over the edge. That's great. Good work. Fun. So now we get to do recovery. As I discussed earlier, everyone remove all burn. And there's the statement of if Crucible Station has resources remaining, you'd repair all of your StarCraft, which you do. So, boom. Now we get to the last bit of R&R, social. Each pilot chooses another pilot or other personnel. The two players, and when it says players, it doesn't have to be a player character, but probably want to do that because of the bond. But two players narrate a vignette of their characters socializing, either alone, together, or with the squadron in the rec room, playing cards, sabacc, grav ball, etc. And then you could be working out, you could be eating a meal, enjoying a romantic interlude, whatever you want. By the way, while this describes, if you guys want to drop in and have a conversation, you do that role-playing thing. I'm not against it. It seems that in some games like Blades in the Dark and the Agon, they do want to just mechanize it all, but we can talk in character and funny voices here. I'm making space for that, friends, because I'm here for that. So with that, who has an idea of a thing? I've written down questions, so if you can't think of anyone, I will definitely have an NPC meet up with you. And how NPC bonds would work is that if they're in your squadron, you can still use that, and that person could block your harm. And if you wanted to use their call sign, it would be a D6. So.
Is it just like volunteer? I didn't like.
Hey, if
I
anybody has an idea.
I want to hang out at the cantina with Vico.
Nice.
Aw.
That's fun. So we pick up with you guys at the previously detailed Hard Luck Cantina. Off in a corner, there is, of course, the famous sabacc game, which a number of the instructor pilots participate in, rotating in and out. And there are a lot of personnel here. So this is a relatively busy place. Vico, so since Janella, you've frame this scene, did you ask Vico, hey, let's go to the Hard Luck? Did you catch up to Vico at the cantina? What do you think?
No, I asked.
Nice.
Hey, Vico, Rackle, which do you prefer?
Rackle.
Okay, Rackle. Do you wanna head to the cantina? Like, I haven't gotten to explore much of the station yet. That's like the only nearby non-military place that I can think of.
Rackle is a little starstruck by Janella. But yeah, let's go to the cantina. That sounds like a great time.
Cool.
Does do you ditch R5 or does R5 trail behind?
Droids aren't allowed in the cantina.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So R5 trails behind, and
for some reason in Star Wars, droids aren't allowed in the cantinas ever.
Yeah, so the bartender's like, sorry, we don't allow droids in the cantina, and then R5 just trails along the long hallway back.
Wait, this is a weird question. Is that your droid? Like, or was that the Academy's droid?
That's a great question. No, I think that is my droid. I think I brought R5 with, from my time working at the motor pool or whatever, the droid pool.
How long have you two been together?
It's probably about, where are we in the Star Wars timeline? Since the Battle of Endor would be about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Since Endor.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, he's got a good motivator, so that's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Well, you have to keep replacing them all the time. Those R5 units, man, they pop the motivators in the drop of a hat.
Yeah, I don't know as much about that. Sorry. So, how have you been enjoying it? It's been our first week, right? Like, this is like a week in the life.
I don't know, Janella. I'm still trying to figure out why I'm here. I know why you're here.
But
you're here to make us all look good.
I mean, maybe on the vids, but not in practice. Clearly.
Well, look, I like the way you fly.
Well, thank you. We get on our feet and we can talk to people. Maybe I'll be able to do a little better.
Yeah. I wouldn't be very good at that. I hope we don't have to do that. Do we have to do that?
We might have to do
that.
Are you sure? I mean, you're doing pretty good right now. So, and most people would be intimidated, or they would look down on me. You know, either or.
Is the little wrestling pit thing happening?
Oh yeah, yeah. Shock boxing, maybe a little bit of shock boxing. If you guys
Oh,
remember
shock
that
boxing.
from Mandalorian. Yeah.
Do you want to
And-
shock box, Janela?
Sure.
Crazy.
I mean,
we're
look,
gonna shock box each other.
you've got a
Sweet.
better chance of beating me at that than you do at drinking.
Touche. There's French now in Star Wars.
There's British in Star Wars.
That's true. So does Janela totally beat Rakghoul's butt in shock boxing?
I say we
Or
just roll a d6 each, and whoever.
I like it. All right. Whoever is higher.
We can make it a contest.
I got a 4.
Oh, we
yeah, I
can
guess
make
we
it-
could make it a contest. Yeah.
Let's make it a contest.
Yeah,
Why
Yeah.
let's
not?
do it.
Let's add some glory
Make
to
it a
this.
contest. Sounds good. Yeah.
There's like
Okay,
other pilots
awesome.
around watching.
Yeah, I think so. Are either Hound or Buttercup in the Hard Luck Cantina? Sorry, say casino cantina.
This is what there is, right?
Oh,
So-
we don't know. We haven't created more yet.
We haven't created more. It's a whole station. Cool. I think Frisk, the Trandoshan instructor pilot, will be like, "Go see this." He's very excited about such things.
They've dialed the gloves down to 2, right?
I mean, we have to be able to fly tomorrow, so yeah.
Sure. Awesome. Cool. So
Yeah,
let's get it.
Buttercup shoots him a look that says, if one of my pilots says can't fly tomorrow, I'm going to slap that smile right off your face.
He gives a hissing laugh because Trandoshan. Sweet. So what you'll do is you use your call sign, because anytime you do a thing, and then bring a domain in. And just so we're clear, if you choose to use burn, you can, but it won't be healed. Like you don't, it won't be healed when you go into the next hop. You don't have a starfighter here, so you can't bring any charges.
Fly my Starfighter into the side of the cantina. No.
So let's start with Rakghoul. Let's build it.
You can
Yeah,
throw in your
so-
commendation die.
That's true. If you
Yeah,
would have burned your
I
commendation
could.
just for this.
Ingenuity. No, I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to roll a D6 for my call sign. And
Okay.
I think, although I could, mess with Janela's shock gloves, that doesn't seem like something Rakghoul would do. So I'm going to go with tactical as just I'm trying to sort of be defensive boxer, wear Janela down.
Nice.
See if I can get her exhausted before me.
So you're rolling 2d6
2d6, yep.
and just getting the total because you keep both.
It might be good if I actually went to the roller that I linked everybody to. Sure, I've got it up in one of my 30 different tabs, but all right, here it comes, 2d6.
Am I supposed to roll now?
Yes.
Yeah.
sorry. Okay. No, it's okay.
That's right.
Hey, that's
So
not
here it
Oh,
bad.
comes.
look at that.
That's not bad.
Nice. Okay, so Star Dancer, build your pool and roll.
All right. So call sign D6, obviously, right?
Yep.
I don't think roll doesn't make sense. Infiltration or intelligence gathering.
Yeah.
So I think domains would be tactical. Right. Let me read them. Let's see.
Subterfuge is
You
part of
could-
Willpower,
operations.
social skill, operations. Yeah.
You could do it.
Subterfuge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can make this work as
Roll-
like
roll with dope.
Yeah, like I'm rope-a-dope. I've got like some background working with people in the combat sports previously. So like I know like how to, just like duck and jive or whatever, the rope-a-dope, the lure you in close. So I'll make the case for the D8 and the rest I don't need to worry. But I'm totally spending a burn because Gisela burns bright. To add tactical to it as well. So.
All right, go for it.
2d6 and a d8.
Yep.
And you got a 9.
Yep, not enough.
Man. So, Rakul, what does this look like? You see the start answer is tricksy and uses subterfuge, but
Yeah,
you're able to overcome.
so-
What does that look like?
I think Janella is probably using some, tricks that she picked up on Coruscant or Nar Shaddaa somewhere in the underground. But Vico is sticking to form and just kind of wears her down and lands the ending blow. I don't even know what shockboxing looks like. Is it like they have like a harness on or something? Or?
Yeah, they kind of put a harness on, and they've got these metallic gloves that actually have a kinetic, and then there's a tether between the two of you. So there's no ring, but you can effectively
okay.
tether. Like if you remember the
Yeah,
introduction of Cara Dune in Mandalorian, she was shockboxing a dude in that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Janella's like pulling with the tether and pulling me into the crowd, and I just get a good reversal and knock her out. Oh, nice. Oh,
sweet. And yeah, the little bit of burn, Janella, you feel it, but Frisk comes over, he raises your hand. He's like, oh, little star power not working so good for you now.
I didn't want to cheat.
Sweet. And then I think, is there someone who like dumps some water, splashes like a mug of water on Stardancer to wake her up?
It's probably not water, but
water, space water. No,
Beer.
it's ale, it's beer. Yeah, it's totally beer.
Space beer.
Space beer.
Yeah, we gotta whip my hair back and forth now. Small wet. You got me. Pretty good. That was what was that? Like that was the Corellian lunge.
yeah. I just I picked some stuff up. I did a lot of boxing with the droids.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard.
Buttercup says to whoever sitting next to her, translation, he got bullied when he was a kid.
Translation, he was bullied. Awesome. Good. Both of you get a bond with each other. And I think that's a great scene. I'm really, really happy with that. Excellent work.
Does that count as a challenge? I don't.
So we're going to. I'm looking up.
Can
PvP.
I mark for suffer? I don't know.
Like I'm trying to figure out how that glory would work when you're two player characters going in against each other. I don't know that yet, so I'll.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to fit into the paradigm.
Doesn't quite, but we're gonna. So we will keep.
I'll give him one of my glory.
Oh,
if that works.
Crazy.
Because it's like a reputation with the students, I guess. I don't know. That's my thing. That's my idea that I'm pitching right now.
I don't know. I see glory as sort of the mechanized, like, how good of a pilot are you? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna. Yeah.
I've marked down the numbers. I'll make a determination and ask around some more Agon heads, and we're fine. So we'll just move on. Each of you get a bond on each other. Who'd like to go next? Oh, Hound, do you have a scene?
Absolutely. I want to follow on this. And I think so. Basically, the shockboxing thing goes on. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a scene with Rakul. And
sure.
This is the fight just finishes, right? And Hound comes tromping in, looks around, snorts in derision. I think there's celebration that's going on, right? Yay,
yeah, right. Yeah,
that kind of stuff. And Hound grabs you kind of by the scruff of your neck and drags you back out. right? And glares a little bit at Buttercup like, you know better. And Hound drags you out and is like, we don't, officers don't engage in such tactics because it could lead to problems with the rest of your team. And just gives Rakghoul kind of a dress down. Kind of popping that bubble.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not an officer, Hound.
Don't you want to be? Don't you want to be one day?
Well, yeah, but is this about the friendly fire incident? Is that what this is about?
This is about you being better at your job.
It was a training mistake, Hound.
Oh, and there's no problem with training mistakes. I encourage that. I think everyone would encourage that. It's learning from your mistakes. And in this case, showing off in front of everyone and encouraging this kind of behavior and this kind, can cause trouble. I'm all for, things that won't hurt others, and I'm all for things that build teamwork. But I'm a little concerned whenever, shotboxing is dangerous. And the attitude of the rest of we just got here. We want to be known as the best team here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Hound. You're right. I'm sorry.
Do Mirrorlorns have hair?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they do.
Okay, and I think Hound tussles your hair and says, "Come on, let's head back." And I think there's like a workout room, and he says, "Let's go work this off." And I think we go work out. Maybe punch in a bag or something like that together. Like we
work
could
the heavy bag.
Yeah.
I like that because we just did boxing, right? So, but Hound is like the boarding action expert, right? Like the actually like hand-to-hand combat. And I think that Rakghoul very quickly figures out that, yeah, maybe he could box Janella, but Hound is like actually, done damage to people.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do you break the bag?
No. I think that.
Okay.
I think we just go back and we work out. It's one of those things. I spot you, you spot me.
Right.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
I like it.
Nice. And I think as the two of you guys are working out, of course, we see a few members from your squadron are here as well. Cutter, the Deveronian, and Fuzz, the Wookiee. The two of them are training in a shockboxing style ring, but it's definitely not like out in public, that kind of thing. Like it's what Rakghoul got in trouble for. Yeah, that's a cool scene. I really dig that. Each of you get a bond on each other. Are you happy with that? Satisfied? I like that little Rocky theme song going in the background as you guys are training, sweating. What about Buttercup? Do you have somebody you wanted a scene with?
More than one person. That's the problem. Yeah, I think I need to talk to Janella.
Where would you catch up with Janella?
Janella, you tell me.
It could be post my loss to the shock boxing as Rakghoul was dragged out.
So is it in your quarters or is it the bar?
I'm okay still being in the cantina, drinking my sorrows away because I lost, obviously. I'm like, oh man, I thought I had
So Layla shows up with and she picks a bottle up off the bar And she says, come on.
Oh, what's up, Buttercup?
Just a little private conversation.
Okay.
And drinks, of course.
Oh, of course.
How'd you end up here?
This is pretty dumb. But I lost a bet.
No shit.
Yeah. It's with a friend. They're like, I bet them they couldn't handle this other type of training, and they bet me that I couldn't make it through the academy training. So trying to see, well, I'm hoping to prove them wrong. The winner gets, we get to own, we both want this one, we both have a claim on this one starship. So
Starship is a prize. It's a pretty big bet.
yeah. Well, like, we're both co-owners, and then we got in a bit of a disagreement. And we're like, all right, let's settle this in the most ridiculous way possible, really.
So, freighter or border runner?
Freighter.
Makes sense. How are you feeling now?
I mean, look, I know there's the whole cup competition, and that's pretty neat, but, like, I'm focused on the mission. We gotta, like, obviously, saving lives is more important than a lot of the other stuff. I don't feel great about, like, how I feel like it was my fault Lucky got taken out. Haven't gotten to talk with her yet.
Lucky will be okay. That she didn't get that name because things tended to miss her. Kind of the other way around.
Yeah, I'm just we're thankful it was the training mission. How'd you end up here?
You really want to know?
Yeah, I asked.
I pull a necklace and under my shirt I've got a holocube. And I take it off and flick it across the table at you, and it pops up a video of a young, pretty woman with kind of sad eyes. And there's some resemblance to Layla. Kind of a sort of a version of her without the hard lines that she's got. That's that was my sister Marissa.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah. So it was. I mean, there was a war, people died, but she shouldn't have died. And I've been piloting fighters for quite a while, but the X-Wings and all the others here are new. Different skills. Her name was Marissa.
Raised the glass up to Marissa.
it was not the easiest thing in the world. Deciding that everything you had been working for to that time was wrong. And it took a while for them. It took a while to get accepted here.
Oh, okay. So you were on the other side?
TIE fighter pilot.
Hmm. Everybody comes from somewhere, so.
Yeah. She was on Ultron. Visiting, we have family there. One of my great grandmothers celebrating her 100th birthday. She decided she was going to make the trip. Had always been closer to that part of the family than I had. And of course, I couldn't get away. Not with the war. But, she was going to a peaceful sector, right? So
yeah,
she'd be okay. News didn't get back to us about that for a long time. When you're in the service, they censor everything.
What was, if you don't mind me asking, what was the story they fed you?
That Aldran was one of the secret center of rebellion, of course. They were, when they chose to tell us about it at all. And of course, I wasn't sure that Immersa had died until later. I had always hoped she had gotten off planet before. Well, so yeah. So I showed up at a rebel outpost with my fighter and surrendered.
That was a brave decision a lot of people wouldn't make, probably.
Yeah, I figured they might just throw me in prison for the rest of my life. Put me on a work gang. They decided they needed pilots too bad. And they were gonna, I was in jail for a while. But then they decided we need pilots. Here's a problem.
It's understandable. Again, too.
It's been lonely as fuck.
Oh, I know a lot about that, but probably just from a different perspective. Yeah.
You're mobbed by people wherever you go.
Yeah, it's not that I don't. Those that I would count close to me is an increasingly small number.
Anyway, I want you to know I think you did fine for your first time out, and that you have guts. And
I know I have guts.
Yeah, no, and that's good, and it's good. If you want my advice, and you don't have to take it, remember, this is a team operation.
Oh.
And
no problem. Yeah.
And if you get yourself aced, you're no good to the team.
I'm sorry.
If you get yourself aced, yeah.
What does aced mean? That's a joke.
Slang. Slang for for shot out of the sky.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, yeah,
You know,
but like,
I don't. It's, you know, the trophy is well and good for, you know, the people who care about it. But what I care about here is building up the pilots, making sure that the people who get out of here won't get killed in their first real mission.
I mean,
because that's the real danger here.
That's why you're the team leader.
Yeah, well,
you've clearly got your what's it, whatever the shit shoot together.
Just be careful of yourself, all right?
I mean, I'll try, but like,
I'm not.
If it's me or someone else, like, I'm okay taking the hit. So.
But don't be okay taking the hit. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, fuck the hits. Okay, you know, go. You know, yeah. When you've got your opponent on the ropes, hit them with everything you've got. But other than that, do like you were doing, bob and weave. You know, don't give them a chance. And remember, you've got friends. You know, one. You know, it's just like, the 2-on-1 things you did in the simulator. Okay, one person dodges and draws fire, and the other one goes into 6 for the kill. And so don't be too quick to stick your head in the trap. All right, for the sake of everybody else. You haven't been on a lot of teams, I'm guessing, with your history. It's mostly been you, or maybe you in the competition.
It varies.
Okay, well, maybe I'm talking through my head, but anyway, like I said, you don't have to take my advice.
I mean, look, Layla, any advice you've got, I'm willing to listen to. Like, you were the first person to reach out to me since arriving here, so. We were on, ever since the transport, or I guess technically the bunks.
Yeah, you may have got here because taking a bed, but if I have anything to say about it, you're going to come out of here an actual starfighter who can take care of themselves, and one of these tiny, poorly shielded.
Oh, you want to talk poorly shielded TIE fighter?
Oh, the TIE fighters, all you had was speed and maneuverability, no shields at all. That's the reason I don't use my shields very much. It's a bad habit.
Yeah, you need to get on top of that.
But what I'm saying is, fighters are, fighters are they're pretty fragile. We rely for protection on speed and maneuverability, but above everything else on the others in our squadron. It's the fact, one fighter alone is just a sitting duck. A swarm of fighters can take on ships that are much, much bigger than they are. And it's because, we back each other up, that the ones that are in trouble protect themselves, and the ones that aren't in trouble charge in and do damage. And just keep that in the back of your head, and you'll do good. Because you can,
And like, she's gonna pour another gas, but she's gonna use the force to pour it. I'm like, that's very difficult. Then she gives up.
Hey, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. It'd be great if I was fucking useful in a fighter.
Look, I'm pretty sure it's gotta be. I just
Maybe
haven't figured it out yet. I haven't. Look, very, very little training. It's hard.
Yeah, it's fucking hard. This is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's also one of the best things you'll ever do if you can make it. So make it.
You know, clink,
Clink.
Nice.
clink.
That feels like a good end, right?
Yeah.
Each of you get a bond on each other, and now I don't think Rack will call for a scene, right? Because Star Dancer asked for that scene. So, do you have one?
I think I think just for the interest of time, we'll make it real quick. But I think there's a scene with Hound after the boxing match, where Rakul is like studying the officer's manual, and the rules and regulations, and you're like quizzing me on it. Like it's a little study session after the boxing that, because like, oh, maybe I don't have to be, an enlisted drone pilot the whole time.
And I think this is actually in our bunk, right? We've got those bunks, and I'm kind of standing outside, pacing around, and you're lying in your bottom bunk taking the quiz. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you took the bottom bunk, so I'd be
Oh,
in
that's
your
right.
bunk.
You're in the top bunk.
I'm on the top bunk, and so I'm like looking at the ceiling, like, okay, so order of battle, and then like there's this like virtual fleet, and I'm like trying to pick things out. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice. I like it. Each of you get another bond on each other.
Boom. I got lots of bonds.
So much bonds. That's fantastic. All right. Looking at time, let's go ahead and take our mid-game break. We'll take it here. So we jump back in to our sequence. Some time has passed. There's a quick montage that shows your daily routine. You guys get up, you do PT at 6 a.m. sharp, daily briefing. We're sitting in the briefing room for a discussion of the mission. And that's when you're given the mission from Lieutenant Commander Valerie Judge Weaver. She informs you, all right, Fury Squadron, today the hop is called the Mac. Here are the details of the hop. You will begin at mission start. From mission start, you will need to find the next place to go, because the parameters are that there is a person known as the Mac who has been kidnapped by an Imperial and has been brought aboard one of 3 Imperial Gazanti class cruisers. They have taken off for hyperspace. Luckily for you, the Mac does have a transponder. You'll need to ascertain the location of the Mac, take off in flight, fight against the Gazanti class cruisers, retrieve the Mac, and come back to Crucible Station. Are there any questions? And then there are a couple of questions, like the Birdie, Lieutenant Zobor Birdie Galani says, yeah, I got a question. When are we actually going to go against Imperials instead of playing around? And Judge says, pardon the phrase, but when I judge you're worthy of doing such a thing, Birdie. And at this point, I judge your squadron lacking. Prove me otherwise. There's a bit of chuckling from some of the folks who don't exactly love Birdie's cocky attitude. And yeah, does anyone have any questions they pose, or shall we jump in, do a screen wipe to you guys in the hangar getting into your various starfighters? Sweet. So we do the star wipe, and we see the squadron all suited up in your orange jumpsuits, and you're headed into the hangar, which has a number of starfighters available for your selection. Zarelda Sage and CPO Samata Bagri are both there waiting for you guys to choose out your starfighters. We'll start with the highest rank. You get the first choice, of course. Lieutenant, what starfighter do you hop into?
For a rescue mission against the Gazanti. And Brandon is not super conversant with the different Starfighters.
That's okay. That's a-okay.
They really don't make a big difference. I just
Yeah,
kind of
they're
randomly chose
just
things.
kind of cosmetic. And also be advised, you're going to have 2 support who will be flying Y-Wings. So if you need to physically fly the person, you've got NPCs who will shuffle in and grab the person and wheel them away. So don't let that affect your Starfighter choice. Just choose the one that makes you happy.
I'm just looking at them briefly.
You want me to jump to somebody else?
If they've got a strong opinion, please.
Oh, cool. So then you have to
I
choose
think,
last.
yeah.
Then, right? Oh, yeah.
Well, I say to the squadron, okay, somebody's got to fly a Y-Wing. At least one. Who is it?
I will fly the Y-Wing. R5 will be my support.
You good with were you good at ramming? If it comes to that.
So excited about it.
All right, you hear it.
Cool.
No, I'll choose last because I'm going to balance out this one.
Okay. Then start answer. What do you want?
A-Wing looks pretty nice. It's aesthetically pleasing.
What about Hound?
You muted.
Thank you. I think Hound's going to stick with an X-wing. Hound actually heads towards an A-wing that's docked, and sees that Janelle is headed towards an A-wing, and then pivots and goes towards an X-wing.
Yeah, Samatri says, good choice, the classic. CPO Bugatti, Bagri, she approves of your choice, Hound. She thinks these A-wings are they're too tricky. They're too pretty. Appropriate for Star Dancer, she says snidely.
Yeah, I'm totally going to paint something on the side.
And then what about Buttercup? What do you choose?
And I'll take an X-Wing. The Y-Wing is going to need maximum protection if it's going to go in for the for the kill.
So Rakul R5 is lowered into the Y-Wing, and you see on the little display it says, "Oh, this is so very old. This is very old. This is Clone Wars era tech."
Gonna be fine, R5.
I'm going to be fine. I'm worried about you.
No. The resistance is Filoni's. Sorry, the resistance. There's a reason that these are still around. And Rakul starts flipping all the switches.
Rakul, once we identify the target, your objective is not to get blown up.
Copy
Clear?
that.
Cool. So the next thing is each of you need to mark 4 charges. And those are charges that you'll be able to use in this upcoming battle. So you can use power sensors, shields, weapons. Everybody has those. And then you've got 6 maneuvers to choose from. You need to check box 4 of the total 10 possibilities.
And there's never any reactive rolls, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. So
That's a good question, though. Like, thematically, that's a very interesting approach to this game. It's very, like, active. You do it or you fail. I know I'm a dork, but I love having the little pics of the starships in there. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make it fit into that area. Way too much time. Awesome. So we have each of you hop into your starfighters, and the A-Wing does not have a astromech, I believe. So it's just you, Janelle. You don't have a droid in there with you. I mean, that's okay. I don't imagine Janelle is heavily dependent on droids anyway. So
put up a picture of a loft cat I used to have. Apparently.
Yeah, the loft cat. Nice. Now you have to think of the name, but I'm not going to put you on
Oh.
the spot right now. But you have to have
It's
a name
in
for
a character keeper somewhere.
it. That's great. That's great. Someday I'll find it. Sweet. So you guys take off and head out into space. You're currently around Crucible Station. So the opening part of the battle is the getting to battle space. This is a threat at the pilots to stretch your resources before the battle for the objective. And that is the where did they go? Escaped Gazantic cruisers. They left you behind. Can you tune your sensors to find where they went? This is an arduous systems check. So the domain of this challenge is in systems. Who would like to step to this challenge and try to find where they have gone?
And I think fictionally Rakghoul is kind of that character with the droid and the tech.
So
It was a systems check.
It is a systems check. Yes, that's the
Yeah.
domain.
Yeah.
and we are trying to find out where they went, and then we have to
Yes.
try to find out which ship they're on. Or
No,
is that the same
so,
thing?
So the opening salvo is where did they go? Then you're going to have to hop into hyperspace and go to that. That will be the battlefield. Your difficulty is the challenge is a 5, and I rolled a 5 on the opening, so you need to beat a 10. Oh, wait, meet or beat a 10.
This
Is
is
it
one of
just
those
me
things we all
alone?
roll, right?
Yeah.
No, whoever wants to step up to the challenge rolls. I'm trying to make it more Aegon-like, so I call out. You have to say, "I'm going to do it," and multiple people
Oh, okay.
can try to beat it. And
Yeah,
everybody
remember
who
there-
says that, sorry,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Remember, there's consequences for failing.
consequences for failing, and whoever did the highest is the person who
They get the
figured it
advantage
out
die.
fastest, and they get the advantage die. Yeah.
I'm going to support Rakghoul deliberately on this one.
Okay, so you're giving up the ability to do a thing. You'll get a glory, and then which domain are you giving over?
I'm giving over to the tactical.
Okay. Okay. Sweet. So your tactical is what die type?
It's an 8.
Okay. So you got a D8.
So it's just Rakghoul with
Nobody else is going to try systems.
Buttercup's support. Oh, sorry, you're muted, Joe.
Yeah, I was totally gonna try to intelligence gather, which I'm good at.
Mhm.
It's true, you are.
So true.
Now, should we build up our rolls at the same time, just quietly, and then run them down one at a time?
Sure.
That works.
Okay.
So, if I understand correctly, Rakghoul is making a primary role, and Buttercup is assisting, and then Start Answer's doing a primary role.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that I think Hound, in order to assist you, spend a bond, correct?
In order to assist, sorry.
You
So
can
you want to
opt
assist
out,
them.
right?
Yeah, you can opt out. And if you opt out, then you give up on the ability of earning the glory, but give a domain.
and you get one bond and one glory.
You get one glory and you get one bond. Yes.
I
Yeah, you
think that
spend bonds to get to borrow a domain borrow a call sign for somebody else.
Also, exactly. You spend a bond if you want to pull somebody else's call sign. If somebody wants to give up their ability to do a thing and support any of the other pilots, then they give their domain.
And I think that Hound sees over the comm that Buttercup is helping Rakghoul Hound kind of nods, and I'm going to give up and help Star Dancer.
Okay. And what domain are you giving to Star Dancer, and what's the die type?
I think I'm giving up command, and what I'm doing is I'm saying, you can, it's important that you're a good part of this team and you can help find what we need to.
Give them D8. Awesome. And just so we're clear, I called it's a systems check, but people who are supporting can give other domains than systems. So let's go with Rakul's dice. You got your call sign.
Yep.
Systems
so I got
domain.
my call sign, my systems domain. I have Layla's tactical domain. And then I am also, I think the role doesn't quite, I changed it to surveillance, but with its original intention, I don't think it quite works. So I'm also going to use a D4 from my sensors. I'm going to burn one of those charges. And then I can use a burn to pull in an additional domain, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to burn and also add in my operations.
And just so we're clear, this is an arduous challenge. So you'll spend charge if you suffer.
Yep. All right. Or R5 will. All right. Here we go. The highest is a 6 and a 4, and I think that's a match that doesn't beat it, right? A match
Actually,
is not enough. You have to beat
it.
Hold
on. The D4, remember, a charge is added on top. So you take the next two highest.
That's right.
Okay, 6 and 2.
12. So it's a 12.
Yep.
So
also
those
equal
D8s
to or greater,
garbage.
right?
Do what? I'm sorry, Joe, what was your question?
Also, it's equal to or greater to succeed.
Correct.
Right?
Meet or beat.
Okay. Great.
So
that's a 12.
You got a 12, so I'll go ahead and stick that in my GM Glory tracker. That in the Suffer and Open, Rakul got a 12.
And yeah, my tactical input basically is, don't just pinpoint. We need to pinpoint an intercept spot. Okay.
Yes,
not, Not good enough to find them. We
not
have
where
to,
they are, where they're going to be.
Where they're going to be, because we do not want a long chase.
Okay, now let's go to Star Dancer's roll.
All right.
Call sign systems.
D6. Roll infiltration intelligence gathering, also D6. Systems domain. I'm getting a D8 command from Hound. Spend a burn to add operations for another D8, and then spending my sensor jammer to add a plus D4. Might go through it as I'm going through the thing, and I'm putting on a British accent as I'm talking to, faking like I'm an Imperial to to rendezvous. This is, Thai, whatever, just trying to, bluff my way past to, meet up the meetup location.
Cool.
Fictionally.
I like it.
So let's see. 3d6, 2 d8s, and 1 d4.
Okay. Let's see how it goes.
It's pretty good.
Wow, you guys are rolling D4s on your D4. So good. That is 8 and a 5.
13 plus 4.
17.
Yeah. 17. Okay. So let's step back. The roll of 17 means that you will earn the glory. Sorry, I just realized that I did a thing wrong. 17 there. Okay, and support here. All right. So, Rakul, you are successful, but you're not the fastest, right? Star Dancer, for whatever reason that Joe gets to narrate after you narrate. So what does it look like as Rakul is successful, but not the fastest, or maybe not the most complete?
Yeah, no, I think Rakul is in the cockpit, right? And Layla Buttercup is on the no, it has to be where it's going to be, right? Oh, right. And so Rakul's doing all these calculations, but there's panels on this old Y-wing. They keep fritzing out, and he pounds on them. No. And R5 is and keeps ducking down and has to keep rerouting systems to get the stuff to come back up. And Vico's sort of like, why did I pick this one? Oh man, come on. And just flipping the switches really hard. I got it. And then they, do the whole punch. But I think before that, we already see Star Dancer and Hound just before, and like, we got it.
So what does Star Dancer do? Is it that reaching out and actually getting a connection?
The systems check was like to figure out the call signs and the rank and whatnot, and that's basically then reaching out over the comms and putting on the British accent. It's like, look, do you want to upset General, or like Commander so and so? We need to be. We are the backup to be employed. We need to know how to watch your six.
Nice.
This rebel scum is on your trail.
Nice. And yeah, you get that connection. You run the action, and it's quick, right? You beat out Rakghoul, and you're already plotting in your coordinates.
And I think narratively over the comms of the group, I'm like, I still start talking in the British accent before. Oh, sorry, no. This is the coordinates. Here's where we need to go. Like right as you're like, got it.
Right. Squadron, get ready to jump on my mark. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, awesome. We see that as everybody just kind of disappears into light speed. And it's a quick hop. You guys started from the core, which is where Chandrila is located, and the hop is out along the Prelimian trade route, and you guys come out at Koran, and when you guys come out of hyperspace, immediately hopping into sensors, you see that there are 3 Gazanti class cruisers. And as you guys are coming in, they are dropping. So a Gazanti class cruiser, somebody did pop up very helpfully. The look at a Gazanti, if you've seen The Mandalorian in 2nd season, there was one. But the most important part of the Gazanti is the picture that I'll be showing you, that these suckers are carriers, not of diseases, but of TIE fighters. They can also carry AT-ATs. But each of the 3 Gazanti class cruisers have 4 TIEs, and they are dropping the TIEs the moment you guys are coming into range, as if they were waiting for you, maybe, or it's a training mission, and that's a thing. And as you guys are coming online, and your 2 flight squadrons are coming into into formation, you hear over your comms, well, nice of you to work your way in. This is Lieutenant Commander Grace, and I'm in a tie, as are the rest of the instructor pilots. So again, we'll be blowing you out of space, but you won't be taking any actual harm, so that we can razz you later. And then, Layla, you maybe have a little bit of flashback, maybe?
Yes.
Cool. So there are some ties coming your way. We have moved to the Clash, not the Awesome Band, but it's part of the thing. So the circumstances of your battle. So there's a squadron of TIE fast attack craft closing in on you all as pilots. Also, there are 3 Gazanti class cruisers who are trying to escape. This area of the Karani has an asteroid field very nearby that you can use if you wish. So it's just there. And you need to figure out which of the 3 Gazanti class cruisers has the MAC upon it. So that is what this clash is about. You guys will be making your opening moves, maneuvering for a superior position here. The pilots will each say how you're joining the battle, what you're doing, what domain you choose, how you're going to try to gain an edge, and then we all roll a bunch of dice. So let's start off with Layla, because you are. Oh, my mic's popping. Dang it! I wonder if it's. Thank you for the heads up. Let me.
It's actually better already.
Oh, sweet. Thank
Might
you.
have just been a positional thing on your mic.
It may have been. Cool. Better. Awesome.
Good.
Okay. So Layla, you're the lieutenant. You get to go first.
Hound, figure out which of these targets is ours. Protect the Y-wing if you have to. Janella, you and me are going to amuse the fighter squadron. Vico, Dracul, you stay alive until we've ID'd the target, and then it's all yours.
So
Feel free to shoot up a few bugs if you need to.
So I'd like to understand, if I'm not mistaken, we need to find out where this person is, get them out, and then ship off.
Yep.
And is that all a part of this clash?
It does not have to be.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably more like that's going to be in the threat phase.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, my idea is that right now we're dealing with the TIE fighters, and we're trying to figure out which of these cruisers has our target.
Okay.
Buttercup, I think I'm better off trying to figure out which one has our target.
Ooh, are you spinning a bond?
I don't know.
If you spin a
how
bond,
they
she'll-
respond. Yeah, if I spend the
Mhm.
bond, she goes along with it. But
Yep.
All right, it's all yours.
okay.
Okay. Cool. So then let's start with our lowest rank. Vico, Rakul, build your pool. Tell us what you're doing, and I'll roll so you know what you're going against.
Gotcha. Let me go back to the roller. So I think Vico, sees these three Gazantes, and is a little intimidated. But he starts diving for. He's gonna try and if whoever has the Mac on it, that's going to be the one that they try to protect, the one that's trying to get to hyperspace.
Mhm.
So he's just going to go for like a bombing run on the furthest left one, just picking one of the three, to see if the other cruisers move in to protect it or whether they leave it alone.
Nice. Trying to flush them out.
Trying to flush them out. So I'm going with, this is nice because I can just click on the things as I say it. Call sign. I don't think I'm really using my role here. This sounds tactical to me. I'm going to use ingenuity on this. I'm going to burn my commendation.
Okay.
And I will also add a burn to add systems to this, because I'm trying to target, I think this is kind of stretching it, but I'm targeting their engines. I'm trying to immobilize this Gazanti.
Okay, cool. So instructor pilot, and you're heading up against Jasper. She is flying the leftmost, and she's elusive. So you've got 2d8. By the way, this threat is this is a perilous bombing run that you are making.
Okay.
So that's
Here
what
comes
you
the
will
burn.
suffer. You'll mark burn if you suffer. So it's 2d8, 2d6, and here we go.
And what's the target number?
That's what I have to roll to get. So the highest die was a 7 plus 5 from the threat rating is your the target for what you're doing is a 12.
12.
Meet
Okay.
or beat a 12.
I'm also going to burn my ion cannon turret because I think that fits with the immobilizing thing. So That's for me. That's 3d6, a d8, and a d4, with the d4 adding. Ciao. That's a 7. That's enough. I just math
15.
15. Thank you.
I'm like, that's more than enough.
7 to 4, 11 plus 4, 15. So the 15 will definitely beat your target. Rakghoul, fantastic. And we're going to go, we'll do narration. So you know you're successful. So let's set up our next set. Let's go with Janela Gentek. Star Dancer. Trying to
Go
figure
ahead
out
and
where the
step
Mac
away.
is. Oh, yeah, step away. All right, awesome. We'll bounce over to Hound.
Yeah, so I think Hound is going to go in, and these 4 ties are kind of locked underneath, and they, as soon as we dropped out, they came after us. And I'm going to try and go in and keep them, while they're in a tight group, try and take as many as I can out of that tight group.
Okay.
So I think that is my call sign, which is a D6. And then I have don't think my roll of close assault, if I could get up on them, I don't think that applies.
Okay.
I'm going to use is operations a good domain here? No. Tactical is a good domain here. So I'll use tactical. Okay. And then think that's it until I add more die. So I will spend a charge. So I'll spend my charge, which I uncheck, right, from the expressions, to add in a D4. And then I'm going to do a burn in order to bring in my command die, because I know when they're actually going to release.
Okay. Your
Should be
target is going to be an 11.
An 11. And that should be a D6, D6, D4, D8. Let me see if I can roll.
Sounds
that.
right. Wow.
And wow. Okay.
So
You
that's 17.
took us 17.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brandon. You are on the spot. I appreciate this. Sweet.
I'm always looking at my fingers. I'm like,
Oh man, I will never play this with my wife. Sweet. She'd love rolling all the dice, but then
It's easier when you can move the dice around on the table. Take the 2
that's true.
highest ones.
That's true. Sweet. Fantastic. So you are also successful, and it looks like Rakghoul will be narrating before you. Let's jump to Star Dancer. You're trying to find the Mac, right?
yes. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
So I've got running down, got my call sign D6, got my infiltration intelligence gathering another D6. Let me make sure I got that D6. Operations, because this is subterfuge and reconnaissance. That's a D8. Spent a burn for systems D6. Spent a charge of sensors to add plus D4. And I'm spending my promotional D8.
Ooh, use the promotional right away. All right. You're really trying to get some glory out of this. Good.
Well, I'm trying to succeed. So
Need to beat a 9. Meet or beat a 9.
really? Wait, what?
Is the 3d6 challenge plus 5? What?
Didn't you get higher than that?
Did I get what?
Oh, I thought you got higher than that. Sorry.
I still have the D10
No, I got-
possibility, but I thought
I
you had
got
a
higher
12
than
total.
that. That was I'm rolling for each challenge because there's 3 different
Oh.
Rolling
challenges.
for each
That's different.
challenge. Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry,
It's okay.
sorry. I thought it was a fixed number.
Yeah, me too. Is it only fixed for the first and last, or is it just fixed for the first?
I don't know because you're doing different
Okay.
things. It feels like there should be different dice that I'm rolling. So I
right.
was just doing that.
So I gotta
and
beat a
I'm
9.
Probably
All right.
wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Okay. I think I'm good with this. I
Okay.
hope I'm good with this. So yes, I got a 12 on a D6 and a
16.
D8 plus
16.
4.
Oh man, so close. You almost eked out Hound, but it looks like Hound may be taking the glory here, possibly.
I don't know. We're
And-
different tasks. I don't know. Different challenges, right?
Glory. It's the glory. You're going to be successful. You don't suffer. but you may not steal all the glory. So
Oh yeah,
now it is to Buttercup.
that raises a different question though, because if they're two different target numbers, aren't they two different glory numbers?
Nope.
Okay, just the highest glory.
The glory is whatever the highest of whatever I rolled against all of y'all. So right now it'll be
Gotcha.
12. And you guys compare all of your rolls, and whoever rolled the highest of your rolls is the person that takes all the glory. Everybody else who didn't suffer gets half the glory. It's the only question is, am I supposed to be rolling for each challenge, or am I supposed to roll one number for the entirety of the clash? That I'll figure out later. I'm able to quickly build these because I built all the ideas of stuff in the background. I did prep, motherfuckers. So I'm probably too much prep yet again. All right, so Buttercup, let's build your roll and let's do it. What are you doing?
All right, so engaging the TIE fighters. Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to this and
Fun.
in a trip in a certain way. So, and I'm going to say, hey, Rakul, flip me the TIE fighter specs from your astromech, would you?
Absolutely.
I know tactical doctrine of how TIE fighters are deployed. So I've got my call sign. This is craft to craft combat. For another D6, I have tactical. I'm borrowing Rakul systems. To
With the bond, you only get my call sign die.
Oh, call sign die. Excuse me.
Yeah,
that's right. Forgot. All right. Then yeah, I'm going to I'll burn to get in systems, and I am going to let fly with the Bane of TIE fighters, which is fast movers, and fire the concussion missiles. TIE fighters don't have a lot of don't have shields really. They depend on maneuverability. Missiles move faster than they do. So, especially if those guys aren't really used to fighting TIE fighters, this should be a nice surprise for them.
Nice.
1, 2, 3d6. D8 and D4.
And you need to meet or beat a 12.
And it's a 15.
Dang, you're so fast. Excellent work. You did beat your 12. So everyone was successful in Clash. You know exactly where Mac is. Rakul successfully bombed. Buttercup and Hound both engaged. Now we work up the ladder for narration. So we'll go based on rank. So Buttercup, you outrank Rakul, which means Rakul, you're the first to describe. Tell us about your bombing run.
Yeah, so I think real quickly before I started, I flipped those, TIE fighter schematics over to Buttercup's X-Wing, and I start my diving run. I think, let's see, which NPC comes with me? I think unfortunately, Lucky is with me. She's in the other Y-Wing, and I'm just not terribly pleased about it, but it goes okay. And we start our bombing run, and we lay into the engines on the Gazanti on the left with the ion cannons, and I'm successful, and we're kind of trying to determine. So I think we determine at least that this Gazanti is not the one, because the other Gazantis don't move to protect it.
Nice.
So its engines sputter out. We take a little, quad cannon flak off of the thing, but nothing damaging. It bounces off our shields. And Lucky's like, I didn't get hit. And then R5 is rapidly trying to keep the Y-Wing together behind me the whole time.
Sweet. Then now we go to Star Dancer. You are the next to narrate your success. So what does it look like, Star Dancer? Looking for Mac. Is Joe frozen? Oh, nope.
And no, I have a question. Is this the clash or the threat?
We are in the clash.
Okay, so we had an extra step.
Right. We
Okay.
did not have this step in before. There is a possibility you can do something in the opening, getting to the battle. That's what I threw your way. So that
Okay.
D10 advantage wasn't applicable. I think I said yes, and it's not applicable. You're
Yes,
contesting
gotcha.
for the D10 advantage, which by the way is going to Hound. So you may want to mark that.
Yeah,
Hound.
that's fine. I didn't write it down anyway, so.
Oh, good.
Because
you read my mind, not my mouth. That sounds good.
I was like, wait, what happened? Okay. So yeah, like it's a lot of what I was doing before of like, talking, spooking their sensors to make mine appear like a tie as I, coordinate with some of them and like eavesdropping in on what ship they're trying to draw us away from.
Mm-hmm.
And relaying that information.
Cool. All right. And you find out that it is the one on the right. So directly opposite, like there's one in the middle and the one the furthest right is the one that has the Mac. And during your threat, somebody's going to have to go in there and get them. So let's move up the line again to, I think I skipped. It should have been Buttercup narrate. That's fine. So Buttercup, go ahead and narrate. Sorry about that.
That's fine. Okay, so Buttercup pops into space, and there are the Galactic cruisers, and she goes, I know how this part works. Power's in there, and she fires missiles at nothing. And then the TIE fighters come out, start to spill out, and the missiles lock on. So just as two of them are firing out of the hatch, they have a missile on them before they know what's going on, and there's two spectacular explosions.
That's awesome.
Can't outrun what you didn't know was there before you launched. Then she just powers into straight furball with the rest of them, and the TIE fighters are lamentably more maneuverable than the X-Wing, but the X-Wing has a lot more cannon.
And shields.
And it has shields. And so I make sure none of them, so it's mostly just a matter of making sure that none of them get on my 6 hard.
Okay.
And we're furballing with them, but I'm occupying a whole bunch of them and the remaining ones, and the keeping the Y-wing unmolested.
Okay. And now it is time for a Hound. You are the winner of the clash. You gained the D10 advantage die. And you were successful. So you prevail. What does this look like?
Yeah, so I think that what happens is whenever we enter the system, our instructors basically come on and start taunting us a little bit. And that pings, I see where that communication is coming from. It's coming from the center ship. And I punch it there. And as they start to release, they release after the other ties have kind of released because they were busy talking. And they're still in a tight cluster. And that's whenever I open up with my quad cannons and disable them, and swing back around and hear the note from, I think we get like a ping from Star Dancer indicating which of the ships we need to go after as the target on it.
Roger, Squadron. Target is Beta. Repeat, Beta.
I love it. I love it. So now we set up the threat. So your threats are you still need to basically board and secure the Mac. The Gazanti cruisers are now turning their guns on you guys because you guys come in, you bombed, you've gotten close enough to where they're more in TIE fighters. And then, of course, the TIE fighter wings are still, there's a number of them. They scrambled, reformed into 2 different flights. They have a reduced number, but they're still going after you. And the rest of your squadron is, of course, engaging and trying to keep you guys clear. So start off with Buttercup. Where do you want to go? What threat do you want to seize or defend?
I'm going to, excuse me. So the threat is, of course, the Gazanti getting away.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
So I am going to seize. And I'm basically going to say, Rakgul, time to show how a Y-wing ram, what a Y-wing ram looks like. You've practiced on the stimulators. Hound, you know this sort of action as well as anybody else does. Figure out you're on your own. Let's make sure they get a chance to do this right. Fire it at will. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to buzz one of the Gazanti cruisers, pursued by a bunch of TIE fighters, and then I'm going to roll underneath the cruiser and pop up on the other side.
Okay.
So I'm using their own damn cruiser to shield me.
Okay. All right. So are you choosing to seize or defend?
Yes, this is a seize.
Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and have you build your die pool. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Every die roll is a contest, right?
Yes.
So, on the rule, do we follow the contest procedure where you roll for the opponent, call sign? Don't you pick the domain for every contest? Row 79 on battle page. Then the GM asks who will face opponent rolls and call signs in this contest of domain.
That's a good point.
So, like, you're supposed to roll and set the number, I think, for the contest. But, like, the domain, that's why, like, winning the threat is when, like, the players get to switch the domain up.
Huh. Neat.
Or you spend burn to add your extra domain, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So then if you're fighting against if you're attempting to seize the threat of the Gazanti class cruisers, then that would be a Starfighter engagement. So it'd be a tactical domain.
And is it one of the things, the way this is written makes me think it's one roll for everyone that chooses to contest. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. We're going to roll forward with the way I did the clash.
No problem.
For the threat, but I think that's fair feedback and is probably right. But,
And are there any other threats?
Are there any other threats? So the main threat that you're dealing is Gazanti class trying to get away, and Gazanti and TIE fighters trying to shoot you guys out of space. Those are the threats.
It's like seize the Gazanti, defend against the TIEs.
Yep.
Okay.
Isn't this the stage where we also said we'd need to go board and grab the?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's what seize is part of, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So I am doing a seize. Basically, right. I am engaging the TIE fighter squadron and drawing fire from the Gazantis so that the Y-wing can get the less agile Y-wing can get in and ram.
Okay. Cool. So let me go ahead and give you that challenge. Sweet. Gazanti pilots. There we go. Using the same dice as before. And wow, I rolled an 8. So 8 plus 5 is 13. You're going to be the 13. That's maybe challenging. We'll see.
All right. So do I go ahead and build my dice pool and roll?
Yep. Build your die pool and go for it.
Okay. I'm Buttercup. I'm still doing craft to craft combat is 2d6, and this is a tactical domain. Is it?
It is.
Okay, so 2d6 and a d8. And I'll use my squadron command. D8, and as I said, I was doing a tricksy roll around one of the cruisers to get them to interfere with each other as much as possible. Maybe they'll even have some friendly fire. Wouldn't that be nice?
Okay.
And I will lay in some burn for command.
Okay.
So 3d6, 2d8, and a d4.
Looks like a
That's
10.
That's a catastrophe. That's a 10. Wow.
Oof, you got a stuffer. Oh, I
for all
don't think
those
I
dice,
defined
that was terrible.
this was a perilous. So go ahead and mark burn. And you will get 1 glory. So let's go up the chain to.
Does he roll a d12?
Yes, thank you. Good stuff. Roll a d12 and see who takes the hit. Number 6.
Looks like a 6.
Hound.
Oh,
Ooh.
Hound, you took a shot. Oh my. I'll mark that.
So are those
Is it Hound? Or
that's
is
separate from burn, right?
Yeah, it is Hound.
It's separate.
Okay. That's suffering, but not suffering doesn't automatically mean burn.
Correct. It does not automatically mean burn. I said that this was a perilous contest for him.
Okay.
So by suffering, you mark burn if you suffer.
So the D12 is the D12 mechanically suffer?
The D12 is this thing that was added on in Storm Furies where somebody from the squadron is going to take a hit when you suffer. It may be a burn, but it's like an extra hit. It's like physical. Somebody got shot. So.
Yeah. Well, I asked because like the perilous mark burn if you suffer. If that counts as a suffer, then you also mark a burn.
Oh, you're saying should Hound also mark a burn? I'm going to say no because I don't love the idea of bleed on effects from somebody else's failure, but that's a fair question. Yeah, I think it's just this weird, almost it's color, but if you take that second box, you're out. So there is more than color; it's actual separate mechanic. That's weird. It's a weird Storm Furies add-on. I wish there weren't 12 ships in your squadron because it makes it feel far too diffuse for the cool little stuff that you guys are doing working with each other. It's like we got 8 NPCs that are just
yeah. The mechanics versus the fiction.
Yep.
But I'm going to do a something that I think is appropriate for the fiction, which is I'm going to basically say Hound negative shift lanes starboard, and burn a bond to obviate the harm.
Whew. Okay.
It's like,
So you're burning a bond. You have you're volunteering that they're not asking for it, because normally it's the player who takes the harm will spin a bond to have another player pilot or an NPC pilot
Right, and neither of you suffers harm. Yeah, but I am, yes, I am voluntarily burning a bond.
Stephen, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Okay,
that.
cool. All right,
Yeah.
start answer. Let's build your pool. Where are you headed? Are you seizing or defending?
So I guess I'm seizing. Like,
Okay.
yeah, because I don't remember if we're supposed to all announce before we build the pools or not. But playing online, it's harder. So,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna try to seize, and the domain is tactical, right?
Yes.
Okay. So D6, because I'm trying to, like, I'm trying to board their ship, so I'm gonna add my roll die of infiltration as I'm like trying to weave
Sounds good.
through and dock at high speeds. D6, D6, D6 for the thing. It's the domain. I'm gonna spend a burn to add operations because this is my thing,
Mhm.
subterfuge. D8. People are like, the TIE fighters are bearing down on me, and that's when I'm gonna spend a charge to do a Talon roll. I don't know what it looks like, but it's pretty close to the Corellian corkscrew, which I learned so many Arns ago. I can't remember the unit of measurement of time in Star Wars. So that's gonna add a D4, and let's see. Yeah, and we're going at a 12, right?
Actually, since I'm sticking
yeah.
with my roll a whole lot, you go against
Well,
a
it's
9.
the same move, right?
Well, you're boarding, right?
Yeah.
So
Isn't that what? Oh, okay. No problem. I got no problem. Roll your die.
I did.
Oh, you just
It's a
did.
9.
Okay.
It's
All right.
terrible.
So, all
I
right.
rolled like
I'm
butt.
okay with that. So, and yeah, I'll spend the bond that we earned from Rakul to add his call sign die of D6, right?
Cool. And
Sure.
this is
I
also
think that's
perilous.
R5 scrambling some sensors for you.
Nice.
And you said this also
perilous is the challenge.
okay. So there we go. I think I got it. 7 plus 3 is the
15.
but 7 plus 3, yeah. So more. So 7 plus 4 is 11. Yeah, 15 total.
Cool. All right, 15 is great, and you are potentially earning some glory. So now let's go to Hound.
Okay, so I'm going to try and board the ship so that I can get the prisoner off, and this is probably a seize.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear, Star Dancers also do. So you guys are boarding through different parts. It's a big Gazanti class cruiser. You can totally do it. It's awesome. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I get a D6 for my call sign. I get a roll as boarding action as a D6. You said this was tactical for a D6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend burn for a command of D8 as I request that Star Dancer tell me where they think the prisoner is. Right, help me with the directions. Are you actually coming on board, Janela?
Yeah,
awesome.
totally.
Fantastic. And then, so I'll spend a bond with Star Dancer to get another D6 from her call sign. And I'll charge Thread the Needle in order to, which is one of my charges for my weapon and my ship in order to get there in time. And I'll spend my Steadfastedness award from last time. So let me count that up. That's D6, 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 D8, D4. Okay. So let's add this up.
And you still have
bet
the
this
D10,
is way
right?
faster to table.
Possibility.
I do have a possibility of a D10, but I think I'm going to save that. So let me. What's the difficulty?
Difficulty for you is an 11.
Okay, and this is perilous.
It is.
Okay. So I think that's 16.
Nice. D4, 5, 8, 13, 16. Looks like you may have won narration if we see what Rakghoul does. Rakghoul.
So Rakghoul gets these orders, right, to ram the Gazanti, but then sees like 3 of the ships just like swarm it and attach to it. And then looks over at this, 4 TIE fighters coming in, hits the throttle really hard, does a banking turn, and is going to engage the TIE fighters in a dogfight to defend, and hold these people off. So
Awesome.
I'm going to, so this is defend. Obviously, I'm going to go with my call sign. My role does not work here. What's the domain? Because it's not tactical this time.
That's
or
true.
Is it also tactical? That's fine.
You know what? I go to stick with because you're doing close combat and Starfighter engagements.
Cool.
So
No
yeah,
problem.
sticking with tactical. This,
Tactical.
however, will be a daunting attempt because
Okay.
you're in a Y-wing going against a bunch of TIE fighters.
And that means that I mark burn to do it. Spend charge to contest. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to burn my shields just to contest this, because I just take a ton of shots right off the bat, right? I'm going to burn to pull in command, because I'm also like rallying the rest of the NPCs. So like Cutter and Fuzz, cover me.
Nice.
And then I will also I'm going to burn a bond with Buttercup to pull in one of those dice. Pull in her call sign. Is that just because you're also sort of dogfighting? You're dogfighting the Gazanti essentially.
Right. Yeah, they're like tracking with their turbo lasers, trying to hit as you guys zip past.
Drawing fire, if nothing else.
Yep. And I think that's all I can really pull together here. Can I burn more than one to get even like a third domain involved?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll burn that for systems. And I'm
So
tell R5 to scramble all of their their targeting computers on the TIE.
Nice.
So I'm like totally going against the orders and realizing that we're all going to get shot up by TIEs if I don't do anything about it. What's my challenge?
The challenge is a better than the last challenge that I threw up, an 11.
An 11. Okay. Well, here we go. And I don't get a D4. I just have to burn that charge right off the bat. I don't get the D4 for it, right?
You don't get the D4 for it. But
Okay.
You can
Yeah, I just
burn
have to spend it.
another
Yep.
charge if you wanted to bring it into your die pool.
Right. I lose the opportunity. Okay, cool. Here we go. That doesn't suck. That's an 11. Right? The 6 and the 5.
Yeah, meet or beat. Yeah.
Meet or beat. So I just barely meet. I don't suffer.
Okay. Cool. So now we go up the chain. Rakghoul, what does your success look like?
Yeah. So, gosh, what were the NPCs are brought in? Fuzz and Cutter.
Yeah, Fuzz and Cutter.
They're in X-wings, and the TIE fighters are like, oh, Rakghoul. This is our instructors, right? So they're giving me crap. Oh, you're gonna stand up to us, and I'm like leading them. They're chasing me around the Gazanti, firing, and maybe R5 is like randomly trying to bring the shields back, and that's what burns the shields. But they don't see that Cutter and Fuzz just come up right behind them and just, and it's just like all 3 of them kind of do the ion lightning on their panels as they spin out.
Nice. Cool. Then let's move up the line, which means start answer. You've come on board. Remember that Hound is the one who will be rescuing the Mac. But what is your setup and your success?
Yeah, like board on, like I get in. I don't have a droid with me, but like I'm able to like talk with some of the people, like basically knock someone out, put on a uniform as I'm like, walking along, acting like I belong there. And then like basically, just striking up a conversation with someone like, all right, I'm, thing, yeah, because everyone's in a panic. I'm like, hey, we got to protect. We were told to transfer the prisoner.
Nice. Then Hound.
Yeah, so I think Hound comes in with his X-wing,
Oh, okay,
and
nice.
all the TIE fighters have, headed out to engage the ships coming in, and his X-wing is actually has clamps on the bottom. So the thread the needle part comes in where the TIE fighters left from, and the X-wing forces its way in through that tube. Like shoves like a little container down and then spirals things open, and Hound gets up there and he starts tearing through the people in the corridors, and they're like, he's just basically pushing them aside and fighting his way through, and he turns a corner and there's this Imperial officer and he's about to pound him, and it's Janella, right? He's like, oh, where do we go? And I think Janella, points him in a direction, and as he heads in that direction, Janella kind of holds off some of the other officers that are coming through, some of the other people on the ship.
Mhm.
And he comes through, and Hound kind of pounds a little bit on the, there's like a door for the prisoner, and he finds the barracks, and he's like, it's got like a keypad, and he's like, oh crap. And he steps, kind of punches a couple of buttons, and it buzzes, and he steps back and he shoots it, and it spirals up, and he steps inside and says, quick, you got to come with us.
Awesome. And you see that sitting there in the quarters is none other than Captain Juno Eclipse's personal assistant, Petty Officer Sidney Talbot. He says, oh, thank the stars. And he runs along, and you guys all head aboard. And I guess he gets on the ship with you, Hound?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now it is time. You get to define the domain of the exit, like the third phase. Rich got the word finale.
Rich, I'm a little confused. They were defending against the threat, right?
You were defending against.
So it wasn't a seize action.
Or
no, everybody seized except for Rakul.
Rakul was defending. Everybody else seized.
Okay. So seize was actually doing the rescue in this case?
Yes, seize was the rescue for their two, and your seize was to basically draw fire and open things up for them.
Okay. I was confused.
Oh, I'm sorry. We could definitely talk about it in the after. So we got 18 minutes left. Let's try to burn through this finale, because I'd love for it to still be fresh in our minds when we do commendations and expressions. So you have a D10 advantage, Hound. You may set the domain of and the stakes of the final here.
Okay, so the stakes, of course, are that do we get away with the prisoner?
Yep, that's great.
Oh, okay. So I think Hound does not shove the prisoner on my ship. He shoves the prisoner on Janella's ship. Okay, this is kind of
it's a tight fit in that A-wing. That's great.
Right. Well, it's a tight fit in the X-wing either way, right? But they would expect it to go somewhere, probably with Hound, and I think Janella probably has a better chance of getting away, right? So I think Hound is going to try and draw them off. Would that be subterfuge?
Well, you got to choose the domain.
Yeah, but one of these has subterfuge in it.
Operations.
Yeah, operations. So I think this is going to be operations.
Okay, so you're just setting the domain for everybody.
Right.
And you're saying it's operations.
Awesome. It's operations to try and get the prisoner through Janella off, and I can give that D10 advantage to someone else, right?
You can give to whomever.
Yeah, so that's probably what I'll do. Okay.
Awesome. So real quick question just for color. So Janella, you've got Talbot here. Do you shove him into, I imagine there's got to be the A-wing's got like a storage compartment. Do you make him stay there, or does he get in the seat like behind you in the A-wing? Because this is not a two-seater.
Oh, I didn't know if there was like a seat behind or not.
I mean,
he's cramped.
I think it's fun if he's cramped or he's shoved into the storage area.
No, he's like cramped behind me, like behind the seat.
Awesome.
I'm like, strap in, and it's
You
like, with
just
what? I'm
throw
like,
some
just
safety
hold
equipment
tight,
out. There.
hold
Just throw some
tight.
safety
He
equipment
like
out.
puts
and
his
show
arms
them.
around you. Is this okay? I know. I'm a big fan.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Oh,
Why,
and I
why,
think
wow, really? Why wouldn't you be?
I think that as we're doing that, I think that Janella grabs a hold of the little ID that the prisoner has, like comm badge or something,
Yeah.
and
Well-
grabs it and swaps it out with an unconscious guard.
Ah!
So, and I shove that guard in my X-wing with the fake badge.
Nice. All right. So our finale, I'm going to be making one roll because I've realized that this 2-roll stuff is 4-roll stuff is really slowing everything down. No, it's not going to speed up a whole lot, but you know, it's a thing. We're going to try this, and I think it's probably more accurate. So, ties and so the difficulty for this challenge for everyone. Oh my God, these dice hate me. I rolled a 1 on a D10, friends. It's a 9. They are obviously beaten. I'm so sad. Dang it. Do better, instructor pilots.
All those early losses.
Cool. So it's just finale. So you're just trying to escape. So Buttercup, build your roll and roll it.
Yeah. So yeah, just trying to scotch as many of the TIE fighters as possible.
It's dire. Escaping this many when you guys are right in the middle of it is going to be dire. So you have to mark burn to contest this. I'm pushing everybody's burn. I'm crazy.
Okay, I'm. I got my call sign, craft to craft combat. I got my operations. I'm going to burn to bring in tactical because that's what I do. And it's time to open up with the heavy cannons that X-Wings have for little fighters. And for cinematic purposes, I do a little spin as I open up so that the shots spiral. To make them a little harder to dodge. So let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3d6, d8, d4, and that's probably what makes sense to do.
Okay. Give her a roll. Beat a 9.
I'm not
Need to
gonna.
beat a 9.
I'm not gonna go to burnout because it doesn't feel right.
Okay.
That's a 15.
A 16 or a 15? I'm sorry.
15, 1, 5.
1, 5. Okay, marking it, and keep that in mind. You prevailed. Let's go now. Let's jump to Rakghoul because I'm really curious about the 2 escaping fighters. So Rakghoul, what are you doing?
So Rakghoul is decided that he's going to be the diversion on top of the already diversion. So Rakghoul is going to basically fake that he's having an accident in his Y-wing, and use like the training mission parameters, right? That like maybe the trainers will like, oh, actually we like need to help out Rakghoul. He's having problems. So it's subterfuge. So I'm using clear my dice. It's the only way I'm ever going to remember it. So Rakghoul, just for the call sign. I'm using electronic warfare. I'm pulling in my roll because it's like I'm making it look like my ship is damaged.
Nice.
With R5. This was what was the domain again on this one? Operations.
Operations.
Great. I will burn to bring in systems. I am going to use a ramming action to kind of set off and make it look like I'm damaged. And then I'm going to use one of my bonds with Star Dancer because I think I'm just doing this really close by to Star Dancer, and trying to like make it pull the attention to that, not, sleight of hand kind of thing, right? As Stardancer pulls off with the actual prisoner, I'm crashing into the Gazanti and like my engine starts sparking out. And I think fictionally, I like actually punch out of the Y-wing. Like I throw on the mask and shoot out the cockpit. So I guess operations was already the thing. So that brings me to 3d6, a d8, and a d4 bonus.
Okay. Good luck.
Ooh, not great. 9. 12.
It's a 12. Yeah.
12. What was
Okay.
the contest
Target number is
level?
9.
9.
9. Okay. I didn't get all the glory though.
Not going to get all the glory with the rolls like that. Sorry. And I think Stardancer. Let's see what you're doing.
All right. So call sign D6. Domain is operations. I don't think infiltration intelligence gathering works when we're trying to escape. So I'm not going to add that. Might as well spend my last charge. Got to spend a burn to contest. So I got 5 burn. All right. There we go. Spend my charge of afterburner because I'm trying to get out of there. That's my last charge. And then I think I'm going to mark 2 burn to add 2 different domains.
Ooh, nice.
So then that gets me at advance, right?
If you go to burnout, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, you're going to the second one, past burnout. Yeah, it's the second advance.
Oh, that's 2 advances?
Yeah, you got 2 advances.
I'm on board. I'm still doing it.
It's crazy.
So that adds, that's going to add command and tactical. Because like I'm ordering people like, make sure like, so like, obviously I have the thing, but like we're trying to, command and systems as like they're trying to hack their badge, like make sure they're following the prisoner badge that's in the Hound's ship, as like I'm ordering people to like, close formations on that ship, and like, giving out coded messages which they can like pick up and quickly decipher and be like, all right. So I think that's it. Yeah, I don't have anymore. I mean, I could spend another, but the advances happen after the hop.
I think so.
Just for ease of mind.
Just for ease of, we got so much crap going on.
Yeah, because otherwise these dice would change immediately. So
exactly.
So let's see. It's call sign, domain, 2d6, and a d4.
Good luck.
So an 11 and 2 is
13. Oh, so close. And Hound. Come on, Hound.
Okay, so I'm gonna do operations call sign D6s. I'm gonna add in command D8, and I'm gonna add burn for D6 on systems.
You got to burn to contest as well. Don't forget.
Yeah, burn to contest, and then bond with Ragul to add in his D6. What I'm doing narratively is I'm going to spend my charge for my sensors to scramble some of these signals and say, and then come on over the comms with my command and say, everyone protect the Y-wing. It's the only one that we could put the prisoner in. Right, to lean into that whole subterfuge. And I think that puts me 1 burn away from burnout. You can only do two burns. Is that right?
I think you can burn as much as you want to burn. Like I think I let Janella do like 3 at one point.
Yeah, I've burned 2, so yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
so I think you can do more than 1.
Okay. I want to burn and I'll add in systems into that to get to burnout. And let me add 1 more D6. Oops, I added 2, and I will roll that. And I got 14.
Okay. 14 is the total?
14 is the total.
Oh man, 14 is not going to be victorious. It is Buttercup who slips in and gets the sorry, but the pitiful dying glory.
Did you roll your D10, Hound?
Oh, you could roll your D10.
He gave his D10 away.
Did-
I was going to
he?
give it to Janela.
Yeah, I never rolled it.
That's what he.
So
No.
Okay, so then I'll roll the d10. Let's see what that
Do
does.
it.
yeah,
Oops.
yeah. In my case, in my mind, you have to like when they're building the roll. That's when it should probably be announced.
Yeah, sorry about that. That roll? I got a 3. That's not high
Okay.
enough.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
high enough. You burned it up. Okay. Cool. So I've awarded glory. Let's quickly. Oh my goodness. Quickly. So Rakul, what's it look like with you getting out of there?
I think that thing comes over like protect the Y-wing, and then I glance off the Gazanti, punch out, and like I think a couple of instructors like slow down in their TIE fighters to try and like, oh whoa, hold on, is Rakul actually like injured?
Nice. Yeah,
That's
they
when I-
probably
that's when I
the rest of your squad are a little nervous about what happened to Rakul. He was blowing smoke there. You were literally blowing smoke. Awesome. And then next, start answer quickly. How do you get out of there? What's it look like?
Yeah, like I hit the afterburner, then I'm like out of there as like, oh yeah, the transmissions, so they moved to target the X-wing.
Nice. Then let's jump up to Hound.
And I think that Hound kind of spirals out and heads off in a different direction to try and lead everybody off. And as soon as he's outside of pursuit and sees that Janela has gotten away, then he'll punch it and get back to base. Yeah.
Awesome. And then last but not least is Buttercup.
Yeah, those TIE fighters that decided to go for the crippled Y-wing. I just smoke them.
Nice.
Just
Wah, wah,
turn
wah.
around and it's like, hey, remember me? and just freak the shit out of them. A quiet cannon.
I think I get back in the Y-wing and like wave out the window as
It's
I
like,
take off
"Woo!"
into hyperspace.
Yeah, if I had a confetti round, I'd fire it in your direction.
Nice. Then you guys all hop into hyperspace and make your way back to Crucible Station, whereupon we'll quickly go through the little bits of Ardar. Congratulations, everybody. I'm so proud of you. We did it. I'm so proud of you.
Sorry, Rich.
No,
real
no,
quick,
there's more. There's one more person. Wait, what is it?
half of 13 is not 8.
Half of 13.
It'd be
is not
7
eight.
at most.
Yeah, I was trying to round up and I rounded up 7.5 instead of 6.5. Thank you for
Okay,
helping me with math.
no problem.
Appreciate that.
It's like, oh, so I take it, but
No. Thank you. Sweet. So you guys come back. You've got Talbot. Like Talbot's starstruck a little bit by being with you, Janela. He says, I hope you weren't listening to what all the other pilots are saying about you because they just don't understand.
look, it's fine. Celebrity gossip runs amok everywhere.
Cool.
But please let me focus on getting us out of here.
Cool. So let's quickly do commendations. Each pilot may claim a commendation from Captain Eclipse. So you guys go through, and even if this will be in the after action part. So the mission debrief. So you're back in the briefing room. Instructors and trainees are all talking about the mission, and each of you get to claim a commendation. Let's go with Rakul. What do you recommend?
I think maybe a commendation for like defending my squadron mates when they were all boarding. Yeah. So I don't know what that would be, but I'll come up with a name for it.
Guardian.
Guardian. I like that.
All right, D8 for Guardian. Hound.
Quick thinking for swapping the people at the end.
Oh yeah, there you go. Like I've already got ingenuity, so I don't know. What do we think? Hot swapping? Is that fun or no?
What about just quick thinking?
Okay, quick thinking. Yeah, keep it
Did the
simple. Sounds good.
previous ones stay?
They stay until you use it.
Okay.
And once you use it, it goes away. Like you check that checkbox and you can't use that die anymore. You still have the cool commendation, right? We won't forget it, but it's not mechanically possible anymore. Cool. Good stuff. Quick thinking. So then, Star Dancer.
Subversive.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
Subversive. Take a D8. And Buttercup.
Tactical Doctrine, perhaps.
Okay, sounds good. D8 on that as well. Each of you may mark 1 advance because you've completed your second hop.
I get another advance.
Yeah, you've got all the advances. You just like got a lot of advances. I knew that was coming too. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And before we're right at noon, does everybody can everybody stick around for? We won't do stars and wishes, but if we can stick around at least to do the expressions part, then we can do recovery and social at the start of next session. So let's quickly go through expressions. You guys did it pretty fast last time, and we know what we're doing this time. So I'm going to start from the right-hand side of the character keeper and head towards the left. So Janella, you'll mark 1 expression for yourself and then 1 for each player based on how you feel they went during this mission.
I feel like duty for Hound. Let's see. For Rakghoul, devotion. Just charging in, ramming stuff. And for Buttercup, I want to say passion. Because they were like, shooting like, we got to seize this thing, and you went on like let's fire, And for me, I guess, bravado.
Yeah,
That sounds good to me. Awesome. So Hound, mark some expressions.
Yeah, Hound for Janella will be bravado, because she jumped on the ship with me. For me, I'm gonna put down probably duty. For Razgul, I'm gonna put down devotion. For trying to save us all, basically. And for Buttercup, I think I'm gonna put down let's see. Let's do devotion as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Rakghoul.
I'm gonna go with courage for Buttercup and courage for myself for defending the group. I am going to go with passion for Hound's boarding action and pushing all people and fighting, hand to hand. And then I'm going to go with duty for Janella for actually, being the one that escapes and sticking to the plan.
Nice. And then Buttercup.
I'm going to mark courage for myself, sometimes misplaced. For Rakghoul, who switched off in order to take care of what's needed, I'm going to say duty. I'm going to say wrath for the Hound because that was brutal. And for Janella, it's definitely bravado.
All right. Whew, we did it. Only 3 minutes passed. I'm so proud of all of you. You did a fantastic job pushing through an entire hop after like in a half of a session. So great. So we'll bring this session to a close. Thank you all so much for playing. I can't wait to see how things go next week as well. We'll kick off with the last bits of R&R and jump into another hop. You had a thing,
Yeah,
Joe?
should we just recover 3 stress, 3 burn right now?
We're going to, well, I mean, you can if you want,
Yeah.
but I was going to do that at the top of the next session so that we're all clear.
Like I'm like, that's a simple one. We could do that.
Yeah, well, everybody clear 3 burn unless it's after burnout. So you'll be doing the stuff pre-burnout. You get to clear those burn.
Yeah. I'll have a question for next session. So
okay, cool. And I'll bring it to a close. Thank you all for playing. Thanks anybody for watching or listening.